Did Ian Garry get robbed against Shavkat Rakhmonov? That's what we're going to go over today. I'll give my thought. I'll give my answer at the end of the video. So stay tuned. The answer may surprise you. Did Ian Garry get robbed in this fight? Before we get into it, I just want to say that I told you all, okay, that Shavkat Rakhmonov, okay, injury or not, I said, look, Shavkat struggled against Wonderboy. He struggled taking Wonderboy down. He struggled taking Ian down. Look at this. 2 out of 10 takedowns. Ian Garry stuffed 8 of Shavkat's takedowns. Do you remember when people were saying, oh, Shavkat's going to ragdoll this dude. Shavkat by murder. Shavkat by whatever he wants. Shavkat's going to destroy Ian Garry. He didn't. It was a close fight. It was a close fight. And there's one round in this fight that I think could have gone either way depending on how you score fights. Okay, and we'll get into it. But you got to give credit to Ian Garry. All these people count him out literally because they don't like him. I don't like him. But I can give him credit for being a good fighter. He stuffed 8 takedowns on Shavkat Rakhmonov and almost got the rear naked choke on him in round 5, submitting him. Nearly submitted Shavkat. Nearly. I mean, people just don't like him, bro. They have this idea in their head that Shavkat's this fucking monster. And I said in my fucking video, I've not seen anything from Shavkat that's made me think this guy's a world beater. And this fight proves it. It's either that or Gary's just unbelievably good, which I think he is very good. So which one is it, guys? Come on. I knew Garry would do well in this fight. I knew he would. And where he did well is where I said that he would do well. On the feet, at range. All right. But then also he nearly submitted him, which is crazy. We're going to go over it round by round. So if you look at these, right, if you look at just the full fight, Ian Garry lands 102 total strikes to Shavkat's 65. 2 takedowns, Ian Garry's 1. Ian Garry took down Shavkat Rakhmonov. Who'd have thought that? But even with these takedowns, Shavkat didn't get any submission attempts. Ian Garry got 2 submission attempts in his 1 takedown. And then significant strikes, 42 to Shavkat's 37. We're going to go round by round though, because, like, you know, that doesn't really matter. The full fight doesn't matter. It matters round by round. So let's start with round 1. Right, I gave round 1 to Shavkat. Now, I know it says here that obviously Ian Garry outstruck him, but this was Shavkat Rakhmonov controlling the fight in the clinch. Yes, he failed 3 takedowns. But he controlled the fight against the cage in the clinch. And his significant strikes were more significant than Ian Garry's. Okay, so I said Shavkat Rakhmonov round 1. Without a doubt. Round 2, though, this is where I think it could have gone either way. And I'll explain why. So, again, Shavkat gets more total strikes by 2 on Ian Garry. Okay, just by 2. He fails another takedown. Ian Garry stuffs it. And then Ian Garry gets 1 more significant strike than Shavkat. Alright. I think Ian Garry did land more meaningful shots than Shavkat. But Shavkat landed more damaging shots, if that makes sense. Shavkat, at the end of the round, or towards the end, landed 2 massive shots. And I think that damage that Shavkat did to Ian Garry edged him round 2. I think Ian Garry could have won round 2 if his significant strikes were a lot more damaging. That's just what I thought. That's just from me. That's just what I took from it. Alright, I think Ian Garry did really well, and a lot of Shavkat's total strikes came in the clinch, where Ian Garry was defending those takedowns. I think To be honest, takedown defense, defending takedowns needs to be considered when scoring fights. I really think it does, because if you fail a takedown, right, you should get penalized on the scorecards. And if you defend a takedown, you should get rewarded because you defended the takedown, but they don't count that towards anything. And that's why Merab wins all his fights, because, yeah, he fails a fuckload of takedowns, but technically he's controlling the fight. I think it should go the other way. If you fail a takedown, penalize you, bro. Penalize you. So a lot of Shavkat's strikes were in the clinch after he was failing takedowns, and Ian Garry was more busy at range on the feet, landing more shots. I just think Shavkat landed those two damaging shots, and when it's damage-based scoring, that's what's going to edge you. If Ian Garry would have just got one or even two really damaging strikes, really flush punches, like cut him or something, he would have won that round and he would have won the fight. I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly. But I wasn't mad that Shavkat got round 2. I thought that round could have gone either way, depending on how you score fights. Then we get into round 3. I gave this to Ian Garry. I gave it to Ian Garry. More total strikes, more significant strikes, just outworking Shavkat on the feet still. Okay, I gave round 3 to Garry. Okay, I don't think that's a controversial take. Yes, the fight was still close. It's only 14 strikes to Shavkat's 11, but there were more meaningful shots, more damaging shots. Those oblique kicks that he started doing, they were working wonders. Going to the legs, wonders. Threw a few head kicks that got blocked partially, but he was still landing. He was landing some good shots in this round 3. And then round 4 comes, and it's just all Shavkat. It's all Shavkat, bro. 2 takedowns, piecing him up on the ground, ground and pound the fuck out of Ian Garry. This was a Shavkat Rakhmonov round, no doubt at all. Okay, Ian Garry did his best, but Ian Garry landed more total strikes, but when you're taking into consideration 2 takedowns, the control that Shavkat had, and the ground and pound, it's a no-brainer. It's Shavkat Rakhmonov for that round. In round 5, look at that. 38 strikes to Shavkat 7. Took down Shavkat, nearly choked him out, and then landed 3 more significant strikes than Shavkat. Easy Ian Garry round. He almost submitted Shavkat Rakhmonov. Do you know the odds on that? I think it was like plus 3,000 or something silly. It came up just before the fight. Plus 3,000. So the way I scored it, round 1 to Shavkat. Round 2 could have gone either way. I edged it to Garry because he looked busier. And he landed more significant strikes. But Rakhmonov's significant strikes that he landed were more damaging. So I get why they gave it to Shavkat. This round could have gone either way. Round 3, Garry. Round 4, Shavkat. Round 5, Garry. So it really comes down to round 2 and how you score fights. I thought it would have been a split decision. But when I heard unanimous, I knew it was going to Shavkat. Split decision, I was thinking maybe they could edge it to Garry. But when it was a unanimous, decision for Shavkat, I was like, yeah. Fair enough. I'm not mad at it. Do I think Ian Garry got robbed? No. I think it was a very close fight. And I think Shavkat deserved to win. But I will say this, though. I will say this about this fight. Shavkat is not a world beater. Belal beat Shavkat. I said it as soon as the fight finished. I said, I think Belal beat Shavkat. Easily, bro. Look, Ian Garry people say that Ian Garry's got no ground game, no nothing, no defense. He stuffed 8 takedowns out of 10. The dude that's got no wrestling. Oh, fucking hell. Ian Garry can't even grapple, bro. What's that? Well, do you remember when I said in my fucking video that about Ian Garry beating Shavkat? I said he's been working on his grappling. He's been working on his ground game. He showed that against MVP. And yes, it was against MVP, but he shows that he has that in his tool bag. He used it really well in this fight. But no one listens to me because I've only got 425 subscribers. You know, I went 11-3 on these picks. If you ignore the fact that Volkov got robbed, 11-3, officially 10-4, but 11-3 on these picks for the whole card. That's not bad at all. And you know what? This fight for Ian Garry went how I thought it would go. Ian Garry just outlanding on the feet. Like I said, I think the only round I would think about is round 2. Because yes, Ian Garry landed more significant strikes. However, the significant strikes that Rakhmonov landed were more damaging, which is why I think he got the nod in round 2. So really, it could have been fucking. I mean, round 2 could have been a draw. Genuinely, round 2 could have been a draw. So the fight could have been a draw. That would have been a shit end though. So I get edging it to someone. I mean, you give it Rakhmonov, I guess, but yeah, he didn't look like a world beater. And I said this in my previous video, well, one of the previous videos about Ian Garry beating Shavkat. I said I don't think Shavkat's his world beater. I've not seen anything from him that's made me go, whoa, this guy's unstoppable. Like if Ian Garry, who is primarily a kickboxer, you know, can stuff your takedowns, 8 of them out of 10, you were struggling to take him down. Which, you know, was nothing against Ian Garry. I'm just saying. Then I think Bilal's gonna just. I think Bilal's gonna win. I really do. I think Bilal's gonna win against Shavkat. Should be a fun fight, I guess. But yeah. So no, I don't think Ian Garry got robbed. I think it was a close fight. Round 2 is the contentious one for me personally. But again, I understand why they gave it to Rakhmonov, but just based off of damaging shots. You know, but it is what it is. I went 11-3. If you ignore the robbery from Garn, I'm happy. I'm happy with how this card went. It was a good card. It was a very good card. On to this weekend though. Colby versus Buckley. Very exciting fight. I hope Colby gets slept and he can fuck off forever. Like and subscribe, links are down below. Until next time, I'll see you in a bit.